Mothman, real demon or urban legend? Stay tuned.
Welcome to Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. We interview amazing guests who provide powerful insights that inspire you to get your story told. Be sure to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com, and while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. Now sit back, get ready to take some notes, and let's get started. This episode of Leap Into Your Story podcast is brought to you by Leap Into Your Story course. Visit leapintoyourstory.com, where you have a guide to get your story told.
I'm Victoria Andersen, and this is the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, work through the process, and meet others who've done it. This is the continuing spooktacular segment of everything paranormal. And in this particular episode, I will be sharing my encounter with a Mothman. And if you'd like to read more about that, you can do so in my book, Trial by Fire. You can find that at Amazon.com. Leading up to this particular encounter with a Mothman, things were a little strange. You could almost sense some pending doom. And everywhere I went, people were very edgy. There were very heated arguments. The day before, birds in the trees were attacking each other. Our dogs started to attack each other. There was some sort of menacing, progressing, weighted sense of foreboding approaching this. And I thought this may have had something to do with our business partner disagreement that ultimately ended our successful business as antique dealers. So there was this building, weighted, menacing, for lack of a better word, like an energy that seemed to be the precursor of this fateful day and fateful encounter. The morning that we had to deal with our landlord of our business, the dogs were just horrifically scared. They had never been that scared before. And even though it was summertime, it was August, there was people still playing around with firecrackers. I mean, that elevated their anxiety, but nothing compared to that particular morning. They hid in the bathtub. They were trying to hide under the bed. This was just abnormally off for anything that I hadn't experienced before. I didn't think anything of it. It's just, I chalked it off to somebody must have scared them with firecrackers, not thinking that there would be anything off other than, the later in the day conversation, which was going to be a difficult conversation with our landlord of our business enterprise. I did happen to notice there was something that was slimy coming out upward from the washing machine and the washing machine drain. I thought my husband had spilled something in it. Sometime he did that. But it was, again, none of the dots were connecting leading up to it until I got into the shower. When I turned on the water, there wasn't anything off about that until I actually got into the shower. Now, being in a very old home, hot water and those old pipes can be quite a challenge. They never can get exceptionally hot, like, say, a newer water heater or newer pipes in a home. So taking a shower with lukewarm water was something I was accustomed to. But in this particular incident, the water started to rise pretty quickly. Nothing hit my radar except for, well, maybe I got lucky. The water heater happened to fire up, quickly this morning. And when I started to relax a little bit, I was getting into meditation and attempting to do that every morning. And this is a morning that I should probably work to focus on. So I'm going to do a little bit of quieting my mind and enjoying a little warmer than usual shower. And it didn't take too long for me to, while with my eyes closed, to see an image. And it looked like a man. And this is with my eyes closed. And this man was coming toward me. Now, books that I had read about meditation suggested that maybe it was a spirit guide. I didn't feel any fear or had any anxiety, but I did happen to notice the water was getting a little more hotter instead of going into the colder, lukewarm temperature. And when this man started to approach me with my eyes closed, the next thing I knew is he seemed pretty close to me, at least within almost touching reach. And a pair of wings flapped open and took me back a little bit. But it wasn't until I saw the red glowing eyes did I start to panic, and it lunged for me and started to, at least I could feel teeth biting my neck. I didn't feel anything. By this time, the temperature of the water was almost scalding. And my husband had to rescue me out of there. He didn't know what the heck was going on. His wife's screaming. She's trapped in the shower. I had turned off the hot water. I managed to turn it off before the valve got too hot. But the cold water was still on, and it was scalding hot. When he realized that even with the hot water valve off and the cold water, the temperature of the cold water, he knew there was something very wrong. When he pulled me out of the shower, I kept looking to see if I could see the bite marks, because I'm thinking, that thing ripped my throat. And when I was able to clear the steamed mirror, there was nothing on my neck. But when he moved the towel to get another towel, because I was protecting myself from the hot water, he saw two big claw marks, diagonal claw marks that were a good inch and a half, almost 2 inches wide, go diagonally across my back. So even though I couldn't see anything and I could only feel it attacking me, it did leave some sort of physical manifestation on my body to let me know that was some sort of real attack. Now, I had never heard of Mothman in my life before until a couple months after the shower incident. My husband brought home a jigsaw puzzle from one of the thrift stores. And when I saw the cover, I just about fainted because that is what I had seen in the shower with me. And across that puzzle box said Mothman. So that is my tale of terror with my own personal encounter with a Mothman. I don't know if there's just one, if there's an army of them, but that is my tale of terror, and I'm sharing that with you. Well, I want to thank you for tuning into the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, work through the process, and meet others who've done it so you can be guided into your journey to write your story. Remember to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. And if you like to read more of my paranormal tales, you can do so at Amazon.com. And this particular tale is from my book, Trial by Fire. We are looking forward to seeing you next time here on the Leap Into Your Story podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. Remember to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're there, subscribe and like to us via your favorite social media network. We're looking forward to seeing you next time on the Leap Into Your Story podcast.